Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. If you don't, thanks for stopping by. All right, so today was you got the bombshell dropped in the Tyreek Hill detainment. Is I guess the proper way to put it. The body cam footage from his pullover from the Miami-Dade police outside of Hard Rock Stadium on a Sunday morning, which was a really weird, watching that kind of unfold on social media. I couldn't even imagine if you were going to the game and you were watching this. But the body cam footage has been put out by multiple outlets. I first saw it with Andy Slater. Then I saw Jonathan Jones from CBS. Marcel Louis-Jacques put out a bunch of other clips. And I think I've watched most of every angle. I've watched at least the Andy Slater one twice. But then I watched, the alternate angles, everything else. I got, there's just no other way to put it than the police in this effort. I mean, it was just way overboard, and they completely fucked up the situation, dude. It was a horrible job by them. Particularly one. I mean, there's definitely one aggressor in this ordeal, and hearing Tyreek Hill and his attorney today on CNN, I mean, they kind of feel the same way, that the gentleman who physically grabs Tyreek Hill out of the car and then is the same guy who, kind of horse collar tackle brings him back down on the pavement, on the sidewalk, really just felt like he had like this huge axe to grind with Tyreek. And I got to be honest with you, like when this whole thing happened yesterday, two things really stood out to me that made me feel like the cops were in the wrong here. The first being that we learned in the middle of the game that one of the officers would put it on administrative duty. And the other thing that honestly stood out was that they put Calais Campbell in handcuffs. Because look, Tyreek Hill's an amazing football player, and and has had some baggage in his past for sure, and has had even going back to the incident at the Marina last year. We don't have all the incidents, but we've seen. Hey, looks like a guy who can lose his cool maybe from time to time. So you were kind of the only thing that anybody who was like skeptical of this would have been like, all right, well, what did Tyreek do that really warranted this kind of reaction? And dude, even if you were like wondering, hey, it's Tyreek Hill, let's no. Rolling up your window or refusing to roll it down all the way. First of all, you gave the guy your license and registration. You have what you need. It's a gazillion degrees in South Florida. All right. Let me have my AC while you're running the plates and the ticket and all that type of stuff. And then also what I thought was pretty clear, and Tyreek confirmed this, is he's Tyreek Hill. And I'm pretty sure doesn't want the commotion of, hey, look who got pulled over before the Dolphins game, because that's going to be just a headline in itself, right? That's going to be a headline in itself that he is getting pulled over, got pulled over for speeding, and all that type of stuff. But to see Tyreek like have the window cracked and then be like, he's like, you better get out of the car. We're going to break this window. Dude who was super aggressive. Then he's like, all right, I'm getting out. And he's getting out. He's going to get out of the car. And this dude just yanks him and puts him to the pavement. I don't know what the reasoning could be for that. The man did not appear to be a threat. He was not overly aggressive. Was he annoyed that he was getting pulled over? Who likes getting pulled over? Who likes getting pulled over? Did he refuse to give him your license? Did he refuse to give you information? You got to be like, I don't really even know how you could come up with a defense for the poor policing that was done here. I don't even really understand why 4 people are involved in this, like a simple pullover. I know there could be suspicious times, there could be suspicious places at night, but like sometimes with pullovers, like when they do the multiple cop thing, if there's a partner in the car, okay. but I didn't even really understand why are there 4 motorcycles over here even for this incident. This is crazy to me. And yeah, I think in the situation, like, first of all, not all the cops realized who he was. Then they did realize who he was, and stuff to, know, like, did that escalate things? Did that keep him from this going any further? But, you have Calais Campbell and Jonnu Smith coming over here, and Tyreek's telling him, hey, call Drew, call the head of security for the Dolphins to get this, to let them know what's going on. But yeah, even like with Calais just coming over and is like, hey, we're trying to de-escalate. And the guy, you're putting Calais Campbell in handcuffs, dude. Calais Campbell. No, I mean, Tyreek didn't deserve to be in handcuffs either. It was wild to me. Like the idea that this guy, didn't roll the window down all the way because he doesn't want to be spotted. I think it's kind of a reasonable thing. But even if you don't think that's reasonable, the time frame between him not rolling down the window and the guy yanking him out of the car when he says he was going to get out of the car was crazy. The dude's fuse was like this big. Like that's how big the cop's fuse was. Like non-existent to do that disgusting act. And the Dolphins put out a statement. Mike McDaniel, I don't know if you guys heard him today, very broken up about this. He spoke the majority of his press conference about this and was very upset about what happened to his players. And so they put out a statement after the footage came out, after Tyreek goes on CNN. The police union today came out in defense of their officers, which I guess is what a union's got to do. But, some of their language on that was just like, it was like we were reading it on the air today. It was almost laughable the way that they were trying to portray it. And Dolphin statement says, we are saddened by the overly aggressive and violent conduct directed towards Tyreek Hill, Calais Campbell, and Jonnu Smith by the police officers before yesterday's game. It is both maddening and heartbreaking to watch the very people that we trust to protect our community use such unnecessary force and hostility towards these players, and yet also a reminder that not every situation ends like this in peace, as we are grateful for that this one did. What if I wasn't Tyreek Hill is the question that will carry with resounding impact. That was, one of Tyreek's quotes after yesterday's game. And Tyreek, I'll read some more of the statement from the Dolphins, but Tyreek also posted tonight, let's make a change. He was saying on CNN tonight, like, we've done the taking a knee, we've done protests, we've done the shirts. Like he's trying to figure out a real way to impact change. So we'll see what the Hills come up with, because he said he's working on that with his wife. The Dolphin statement goes on to say, we are proud to have a strong and positive relationship with Miami-Dade Police Department and other law enforcement agencies, and we recognize that a vast majority of officers who serve the community with the utmost character and desire to protect all citizens. However, as in on full display on the videos released tonight, there are some officers who mistake their responsibility and commitment to serve with misguided power. And while we commend MDPD for taking the right action and necessary action to quickly release the footage, we also urge them to take equally swift and strong action against the officers who engage in such despicable behavior. Will be interesting to see what the discipline is. This is not a good look for Miami-Dade PD. And, hey man, the whole idea, of course, this is one of those things that you not only had a situation where it got escalated and put over the top by a guy who was either too power hungry, had an axe to grind, was having a bad day, just does this all the time. I don't know. But it wasn't even just like the one in particular guy who puts his hands on Tyreek, like that guy, and that turns out to be the guy who was put on administrative leave. That officer, yeah, man. I mean, it was heinous to see that kind of reaction wasn't a guy putting anybody in danger. I saw the footage. Didn't look like, Tyreek was mistaking anything for F1 around there. what caveats do you have to have on this? Okay, yeah, Tyreek, if you don't roll down the window all the way, listen to the, because I'm sure that would have calmed him down even more the way that he was going. Because I'm sure if Tyreek had his window rolled down, one smart alecky comment wouldn't have gotten this guy to push it over the edge and take Tyreek. That guy wanted to take Tyreek Hill out of that car like that. That's the facts of it. Because Tyreek Hill was getting out of that car and was going to listen to them. And he wanted to put hands on him. That's the truth. And the same thing happened when he was over by the sidewalk. He wanted to put his hands on Tyreek Hill again. So I don't really know what the defense is there for that. Yeah, obviously, most cops are great. Do a job that I couldn't do. Put my life on the line. Defend. Remember, recently, there was a manhunt in my neighborhood, probably 4 months ago. We're a pretty quiet town. Doesn't happen a lot. But man, these guys are trying to find a dude who was ended up allegedly killing a family member. And you're like, geez, look at them all. And they had the swag. That is a crazy way to make a living. And so, yeah, for the majority of the guys who are great at their job and do put their lives on the line or whatever, of course, you're thankful for what they do. It's insane, and you are so thankful for the people who are good at their jobs that they are willing to do those jobs, right? But man, when you have somebody who's a little tilted on the wrong day in that position, it can really have things up. It really can, and in any power position that can happen, And in any of these, but this one obviously is, I just don't think there's any mistake in this. This was just so over the top and just so bad. I don't really know what other way you could spin it other than just, you just want to be a contrarian on the other side of it. The statement finishes off. We will stand beside Tyreek and our players as they work to use their platform to make this a positive impact in our community. We've always believed the game of football. We've always believed the game of football holds a unique power to bring people together, and we remain hopeful that through the collective work of the players' organization and our community partners, we can create lasting change. But a lot of the Dolphins players are pissed. Jalen Ramsey, he wants them fired immediately. Tweeted, MFs like them can't have no type of power. They got to go. Sleep is crazy. When you look at the body cam footage more than once, I notice some new BS every single time. Same. This one was pretty wild from Teron Armstead. He said, Tyreek walked in the locker room just moments after this. His eyes were red, filled with anger and pain. As he was telling me what happened, I couldn't do nothing but feel the pain of my brother. Seeing this bleep makes it even worse, man. Completely unnecessary and completely sad. Yeah. Echoed, man. That was it was rough to watch. It was rough to watch. Completely over the top. And we'll see what the fallout of this is. I'm sure there is going to be more discipline. There's a reason Miami-Dade did not want to put out the footage immediately. There was a very clear reason why this was delayed. They were getting their ducks in a row because they knew the reaction was going to be bad, because it deserves to be bad. It was a bad job by them. And fortunately, as the Dolphins say, Tyreek didn't end up hurt, didn't end up arrested. This didn't end up worse. And that he is seemingly taking it in pretty good stride. There was a tweet from Tim Reynolds that said, Tyreek, when the incident was over yesterday, shook all the officers' hands and said, quote, respect, for real, nothing personal, appreciate it. I still got love for y'all. I respect all y'all. So we'll see what the next step is on this fallout. I can't imagine when the nation reacts to this tomorrow, it is going to be great. It's not a great look for the city of Miami, and it's not a great look for their police department. And I believe there probably will be more fallout from this.